across the nighttime. The city winks a sleepless
eye. I'm sending it for Dougie, Brother Dougie. Extending the Jammarster show.
Window. Sweet seducing sighs get me out.
All the way through to the hours of 10 o'clock.
For walls won't hold me tonight.
All the way through till 10 o'clock right here on Bless Radio. And it's the Jammarster just extending everything. And be coming back shortly. Right here live. We're going to be talking about, and once again we'll be talking a bit extended subject about mental health words and how we can combat that. So back again inside the sounds of Taurus Riley.
Looking out across the nighttime, the city winks a sleepless eye. Hear her voice shake my window. Sweet seducing sighs get me out into the nighttime. For walls won't hold me tonight. And if this town is just an apple, will you take a bite? And if they say why, tell them that it's human nature. Why? It doesn't do me that way. Oh, I tell you why? Tell them that it's human nature. Why? It doesn't do me that way. Reaching out to a stranger, electric eyes are everywhere. And I see that girl, she knows I'm watching. She likes the way I stare. And if they say why, just tell them that it's human nature. Why does it do me that way? If they say why, tell them that it's human nature. Why, you know if you do me that way. I love living this way. I love living this way.
Bless Radio Live, transmitting across the whole global stratosphere. The sounds of Taurus Riley, taken from the Michael Jackson track Human Nature. If you're just joining us, earlier we've been talking about mental health, and we had a great sister who was talking about NLP, which is neuro-lingual programming, and a great key element was she made was especially in the schooling system is that it's not really mental health. Mental health, if you look at the word mental health, there's nothing in that word that you can use. It doesn't really specify in the mental health is an abstract word, and what we say abstract is something to think about. And when you're using a thought process like logic or rationality to solve a physical or emotional problem or psychological problem ourselves, we have to get tuned with our, as the song was quite rightly saying, our nature. You know, a problem is now in relation to, especially the learning experience. It's not based on. It's all based on abstract. It's based on, say, learning the sciences, but none of the actual schooling system is designed for you to actually go into yourself as a person. You know, find out about certain elements of what are required for have a certain morality. You know, certain ethics. How to conduct yourself as a human being in relation to other human beings, developing communication skills, having a sense of justice, how to be courteous, how to have manners, also how to have business skills, how to manage finances, how to be clean, how to avoid diseases, how to heal, how to overcome certain circumstances, especially that you will encounter, especially like bullying or obsessive use of social media, interaction with adults, you know, looking at the TV programs and behind the motivational aspects of TV, what it's designed to do, like adverts, looking at the artists, why they use certain lyrics in their songs. So none of the schooling system is designed in a relation to develop your persona or yourself or your identity or who you are to a higher level, and if this capacity, especially as a young child, is not nurtured, their nature is undernourished. Well, if their nature and their thought process is undernourished, then their behavior as a result is going to be dysfunctional. So this is a key element in relation to even what is happening with our youth in the schooling system now. Is there is a lack of application to develop them as a human being, and giving them the tools to enable them to maximize their potential. The environment, especially nowadays that we're in, is become more and more robotic, more and more commercialized, more and more money orientated, more and more concrete. This is like there's no leisure, lack of leisure center. It's maximizing just the mobile devices is now the pleasure. And when you see that the environment, the stimulation in the environment now is more, as I said, is more technological. But technological means there's less humanity in the environment, and as it's all money driven, all finance driven, now it's all geared up towards stimulation, and the stimulation is now relating all to defiled behavior, basically, which seems to be the root or the road that the entertainment industry and the psychological industry that's funding the film. Each film in this is because it's all on competition. Is trying to they're all competing against each other to maximize the profit. So the things that they're showing is more debased, more sensationalized to attract attention, and there's no restrictions on what is shown basically in the gaming system. So from the young mind is exposed to constant combat, from the gaming system, to the books, through the cartoons, through the films, through the entertainment, through the music. The young mind is now bombarded with violence and killing, more sensational killing, and becomes immune to feeling empathy, sympathy. It's seen as a sign of weakness now, and it's all geared towards fashion, look, exterior. There's no construct in the society or in our learning environment to develop ourselves from inwardly. It's all a outward show. Based on the psychology of the environment, of the designers of the environment that we're in. If you'd like to contribute to this, we was talking about mental health. We're talking about the construct of, as the song said, we're talking about human nature, because that is the key. Is the nurturement of your nature is the key to us maximizing our potential. After the next track, the number to call if you like to contribute, Bless Radio, Know Thyself, blessradio.org. Like to thank anybody who's tuning in today. We'd like to hear from you to give some food to stimulate this discussion. We're discussing once again, it was about mental health, and we had a sister who has developed a way of she's proven that the young minds can be developed and nurtured, and it seems that the what she's doing is she's been excluded for what she's doing because she's getting results. She's been excluded from the schooling system because it's actually exposing the limitations in the schooling system. The schooling system has not the time, energy, or funding towards employing someone who's actually can develop the mind. It seems that is against the schooling system, which is basically a results program for funding. The number to call once again is 079 444 31366. Once again, 079 444 31366. On to the next track. It's Bliss Radio. Music with a message live across the stratosphere. Sounds of the burning spear. Don't sell out. Goes out to the community. Healing of a nation on this station. Bless Radio.
Remember your nurses, them now. Remember your doctors, them now. My Highland don't sell out. No, 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 no. My Highland don't sell out. Please don't sell out. Remember your farmers, them now. Remember your workers, them now. Remember your neighbors, them now. My Highland don't sell out. Please don't sell out. My Highland don't sell out. Remember your people, them now. Remember the masses. I'm a soldier of His Majesty. So therefore I can see. My Highland don't sell out. Please don't sell out. My Highland don't sell out. Oh, no, 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 no. My Highland don't sell out. Single on. Remember your native, them now. Remember your Afro slave yard. Remember your Afro slave yard. My Highland don't sell out. My Highland don't sell out. No, 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 no. My Highland don't sell out. Please don't sell out. My Highland don't sell out. Remember our future. Our Highland future. Remember our future. Our Highland future. My Highland don't sell out. My Highland don't sell out. Please. My Highland
burning spear and a music with a message. Don't sell out. That's what's happening nowadays. Is why we're in the position we're in is because we are selling out. We're selling out our heritage, our history, our wealth. You know, our original thoughts, culture, our ancient knowledge. You know, even we've been forced to do it, but now some of us say we're not under the force, but we're really selling out what we were about, really. And this is, you can see the results of us integrating into somebody else's system. This is like a bee trying to be a wasp, or a mouse trying to be a cat, or a cat trying to be a mouse, you know, or a chicken trying to be an eagle. When you integrate into somebody else's system, respect to the management of blessing all the community. We give you the food of nourishment for your nature. As the first song was Human Nature, we're giving you the food for your nature. The second song, Burning Spear, Don't Sell Out. And you have to check what your movements are doing. Are you selling out your culture? Are you selling out your parents, even your parents, in what you're doing now in society, as we move on to the next track?
Just show them say the ice cream and we never get free enough. Rastafari say the ice cream. Good. Living and made feel like metal lift with a fire in a John Paul head. At the high depth. Living and made, then if this what me herb, then I figure fled. At the high depth. Living and made feel like metal lift with a fire in a John.
If you're driving, drive carefully. If you're in your family, treat your family as your family is who you are. Your family tree, make the tree grow. And you reap what you sow. Raise the standard to the highest grade in school, in work, in whatever your performance is. Make sure your aim is to achieve your highest grade. So give yourself the environment for your potential. Your potential is your greater self. You're greater than you think you are. But you have to set the marker for your highest grade. Bless Radio Live. Thursday. But round the corner, the whole of them a ship it. And Paracella say, yeah, tell them to stop it. Till they get to you them. Once for the ice, on the highway. Different and me, it feel like metalist. Fire in a John Paul head. The highway. Different and me, and it was what me early. Then I figure, the highway. Different and me, it feel like metalist. Put a fire in a John Paul. The highway. Different and me, you don't know what I know. Hey, Bob Marley tell me say I know in judgment. Excuse me, make a like my spliff. From reality, I just can't drift. They cut me lesson. They feel it in a gully, yo. Tired feel it in a bush, and one feel it in the open. Number they sell it out for token. Well, Peter touch a tell them, say, light up your foot, light up your chalice. Fire, put it in a Buckingham Palace. Wesley's I say, just want the herb, all around the start. But I could take this one up. Lad. If you put on your say, light up the chalice and go burn down road. Up your front and pop all the phone. We can always have been all of people and mud. Hey, yo, when I watch out, the ice scrapes around me. I feel the last bits of the ice scrapes around me. I feel load the chalice, the ice scrapes around me. I feel the last of the ice scrapes. But I know, the friend of me, it feel like the chalice put a fire in a John Paul head. But I know, the friend of me, it feel like me like the chalice beer. That's right, aim for your highest grade. We're at school. That's what's around you. Don't follow the chemical, because you will fall with a false chemical. Once again, I'd like to big up all the blessed family. One nation. Nourishment of the mind. Don't get left behind. Seeking you will find. As we move inside, goes out to each and every one once again. Inside the fire once again.
when I know okay Carol. So me bun down them bullet and bun them pistol. No wild west and I know okay Carol. The rest of man a bun funeral. I'm so big as a lucky chigapi. Stop tell the get to you them say you are Jannati. I'm so big as a lucky chigapi. These are cutting the boy and gang backy. I'm so big as a lucky chigapi. Stop tell the rest of you them say you are Jannati. I'm so big as a lucky chigapi. These are cutting the boy and gang go. So we go bun this a shot and then me bun this a shotty. All of them me watching down at the pity of him shot this a John and shot this Matty. Shut down the dark and a him shot the kitty. Shut up the milk from out of the coffee. After the beer when shut off the nappy. I use a bar with Sando and Natty. Oh him shut up police car. Shoot up the ratty. When they check it out the boy a real gun claffy. Buck up in the profit papa still a see. That is not chance him don't get free backy. All over the place he made me party. Oh this a because I lucky chica piss up. Tell the get to you them say you are John Natty. I this a because I lucky chica piss. Listen to him the boy run gang go backy. I this a because I lucky chica piss. Stop tell the get to you them say you are John Natty. I this a because I lucky chica piss. Listen to him the boy. Baby don't want me go bun Mr. Shotty. Bun Mr. Shotta. Allah tell me woman say him a no gun cutter. Out a man guy say him shut out the matter. Half of the backer say him shut up the stopper. Shut out the pig from out of the chatter. Half of the beer boy him shot the diaper. I was the bar with Starkey down copper. When they check it out the boy a real gun cutter. Buck up to the profit papa the chatter. Not even a chance him don't get fig up. All over the place where the boy runs cutter. Oh this a big up a lucky chica piss. Stop tell the rest of you them you are Jannati. Oh this a big up a lucky chica piss. Listen to the boy run the backy. Oh this a big up a lucky chica piss. Stop tell the rest of you them you are Jannati. Oh this a big up a lucky chica piss. Listen to the boy. So again well Mr. John and Mr. Tom have it so hard. Through them all kill man with no cause. So them kill man a yard, kill man abroad. Long time me a tell mommy in back like a yours. Mommy still no care cause she said the boy yard. If him did yard, no him dead like a dog.
Pick it up Mantis, hard working. Caribbean Pizza. Check it out on YouTube. Yo. Original Caribbean Pizza Show. Brand new show. Make sure you go to YouTube at Caribbean Pizza. If you've got an acting, you want to get into acting, check it out. Bless Radio Live. Why is it becoming a Wild West out there? So much funerals now. Goes out to everyone who's experienced the loss of a loved one this week, last week, or who's burying one of their parents soon. I'm gonna stop trigger happy. Why is everybody getting trigger happy? You know, I'll go to once again, if you'd like to contribute, what it is, we're playing a track and then we're going to talk about that. Number to call is 079 444 313 66. Once again, 079 444 313 66. If you'd like to contribute and give us some food for thought live on Bless, we'd like to hear from you. Why are we trigger happy? What's going on with our nature? The first track was Human Nature. So what's turned our nature, you know, that is now where we're doing things that are causing so-called mental illness. We have to check that in. Also, when we talked about don't sell out, burning spear, don't sell out, it's like we're leaving our culture now. Is that leaving us to become detrimental and causing us to be trigger happy? I'm going to just give you a quote from the original history book called The Histories by Herodotus, and he was around 425 BC, and when he encountered who our original state as Kemetians. He writes in book 2, page 131, line 18, paragraph 35. He says, concerning Egypt itself, I shall extend my remarks to a great length, because there is no country that possesses so many wonders, nor any that has such a number of works that defy description. Not only is the climate of ancient Kemet different from any of that of the rest of the world, in ancient Kemet, the rivers are unlike any other rivers. But in ancient Kemet, the people also, in most of their manners and customs, exactly reverse the custom practice of the rest of mankind. So basically, this is an old book by a historian called Herodotus. That's his words describing when he went to ancient Kemet. He saw that everything about Kemet was different from the rest of the world. Most importantly, is the people's customs were in the exact reverse. In customs and manners was in the exact reverse of the rest of mankind. So basically, this is what's happened. Why have we become trigger happy? Because we've been shown, after the torture of slavery, now we've been exposed to the environment of the TV. If you look at the old artists call himself the Lone Ranger, Dillinger, and we have in our DNA, we have an ancient principle called Tahuti. So basically, your DNA is your writer that writes the script. So everything that you do, this is a formation of habit. A formation of habit. So basically, everything that you do, you've got a writing part of you that writes it in your DNA. So you've got the propensity to redo that thing again. So what's happened is now we're coming into like a wasp learns how to become a frog. You've come into a different environment where you've been stripped of your memory bank, of your culture, as we said, our human nature, and it's been sold out. But even we've been sold out to the rest of the world. But in doing that, we've lost our culture, and now we are learning in reverse of our original nature state, as quoted by Herodotus in the book The Histories. Once again, that is chapter 2, paragraph 35, where he quotes that in where we came from, they saw us doing everything in reverse to what they did. When they said it's their right hand, now we said that's your left hand. When they said it's their left hand, and we said that's the right hand. So our mental state was in a total reverse of what it's in now. This is what's happened to our nature, is that we've been taught comes from tautology. We've just shown different ways of doing the same thing. We've been taught. Look at even in the music, Dillinger, Lone Ranger, Clint Eastwood. We've been now seeing this. Our parents are using the names of gunslingers and gunfighters, and that has gone into the music system. And now the future generation now are acting out what has been subconsciously put into the music. So now, once again, if you'd like to contribute, now what is the cause of this trigger happy? Now it's actual excitement now to be trigger happy, because it's been put in. We grown up, even you might say certain things about the religion, but religion we brought up in knowing right from wrong. So most of the time, when the first generation came over here, for whatever you want to say about religion, we knew the family and we knew what was right from wrong. Nowadays, the family is not a book. The family is the mobile phone now, and it's the mobile phone, and the friend is the internet. So basically, now the youth now are growing up with this. It's exciting now to cause a detriment to another human being. This is what they've been seeing from birth. It's like this is all they know now, and it's now become nature. It's now become nature now to actually enact in a propensity against another form of life. So this is what we have to move against now. So yes, we have to move against, and now we have to step forward inside as we enter now. Once again,
Welcome. Go and get yourself a copy and be happy. Them never know say we smart. This one come for going on the chart and tear it apart.
This is Bliss Radio, live across global experience of Bliss. Rise up, people, rise up. Let the mighty rise. It's our time to rise. Act in reverse to get to your true nature. Revolution means to go backwards. Re means to go back. Volve means to turn back. Reverse from the hearse. Otherwise things are gonna get worse. Do it, y'all. Play by the sound of Bliss Radio, live and direct in full effect. Musical nourishment, you are gonna get to know about the fret. Really and truly. Time to reverse from the earth before things get worse. Don't lose your life or sell out just to fill up your purse. Things that you eat will make your blood vessel burst.
Liberation fight, yeah. The movements, the movements of Jah, the movements of Jah, yeah. The movements, it was from creation, yeah. It was from creation.
As we tell you inside the Blessed Radio Live, time to know yourself, elevate yourself, know your position, take your position.
In all community, because your best friend could be your enemy.
Let the truth be told.
Be your best friend.
Live tonight.
Enemy. Your enemy could be a better friend.
Blessed Radio transmitted across the global hemisphere.
If you black and white,
Peace and love, Barry Brown.
and fight. Jah created the day and the night, so let us all unite.
Happens to be the talk of the town, blessradio.org.
How good and pleasant it is for us to live in peace and love
Do it!
and unity
Time to get to it.
in all community. In all community.
Blessed Radio Live. Careful how you drive, no jive. Do what's right to stay alive. Picking up everyone on the P45. Our time has arrived.
If you black or white, don't you fuss and fight. Jah Jah created the day and the night. Let us all unite. Don't fuss and fight. No. We should live as one. We should understand that each and every one better one. How good and pleasant it is for us to live in peace and love. Peace and love and unity is all community.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Bless Radio live across the stratosphere. We're here. Have no fear. Time to be aware. Don't worship what you wear. Time to take care. Live your life right. Blessings upon the community people inside. Do it, y'all. Say. Just live a life, love a life and live. Always think positive. Even though people can be vindictive, it's better to give than to get. No matter worry or fret. Bless Radio live. Do it, young. Every day is a challenge. Cause every day is a challenge. Every day is a challenge. But you have to manage. Don't end up like a cabbage. Live a life, love a life and live. Big it up all the driver. Big it up all the queen. You know what I mean? And all the kings upon the scene. Keep your senses in a gear. Cause you have to be aware. Have to be aware. Walk with care. You could lose your life if you have no care. Big up all struggler, all unemployed. Each and every one under a sentence. And everyone who gone to a funeral, blessings to all the mothers and fathers of the universe. Keep strong. You have to survive when things get worse. But after a storm must be a calm. So you have to keep calm. Cause it's time for the rise. Wicked are gonna fall. Time for you to open your eyes. I look upon the people that try to advise. Use your brain, cause they really wise. Careful of the friend who are really spies. As we enter inside, Bless Radio Live. Do it, young. Dub it. A big question to all listener tuning in, bless. No less. Big up all Empress. As we maneuver back to back, track to track. We don't hold back. Stay up on track. Like this, like that. Do it. and give you higher knowledge and wisdom. The power and the science and the melanin. And the power and the science. Power and the science. Live in Bless. Transmitting globally across the stratosphere. The biochemical that makes your function. Key nutritional health. Key to the nutritional health. Melanin. I said melanin. Melanin. The key to nutrition and health. The power and the science of melanin. Do it, John. Melanin. Melanin is the biochemical substance that drives the physical, the mental, emotional, and spiritual. Melanin, carbon, the biochemical substance of life that drives your physical, your mental, emotional, spiritual life. Melanin is a dark, organic carbon, chemical pigment substance. I tell you again, tell a friend, melanin is a dark, organic, carbonic, chemical substance. Secreted by the pineal gland. Because pineal has a pine shape. Melanin. The key to health, nutrition, and diseases. The power and science of melanin. Melanin. Stimulates the growth of the nervous system, cerebrum, brain. Melanin. Melanin. Once again, you're tuned to the Blessed Radio live across the atmosphere here. The healing of the nation, food for thought, the nourishment of the mind. Don't get left behind. As we enter inside, do it, y'all. Goes out to all the hot foot stepper. The healing of the nation starts with positive vibration. Bless Radio. Melanin. The biochemical power and science in your pineal gland. That's all you need. Vibration on the melanin, the healing of the nation. Secreted by the pineal gland. Whether you're in Africa, Jamaica, or England, the vibration comes from your pineal gland. Bless Radio. Do it, young. Menally. The organic dark chemical pigment substance. A sustenance for keeping in balance. Do it, young. All the driver. Drive safe. Big up all the family. Bless radio. Do it, ya. Menally. The pineal gland stimulates the growth of the nervous system, cerebrum, brain. It's the thinking brain. The thinking part of the brain. I said thinking, not stinking. The thinking part of the brain. Called the grey matter. I'm mentally that. Higher level. You have it already now, your brain. It's called mentally. Biochemical. Power and science. The key to health, nutrition, and ending all disease. Menalin. You have it already. Do it, y'all. Once again, you're to the Blessed Radio live across the stratosphere. We're talking about mental health. The cure to everything. You have it already now. Your brain. Menalin. Hey. Say. Have it already in your brain. Have it already in your brain. Stop you going insane. Stop you going insane. Menalin. Goes out to each and everyone tuning in. This is Blessed Radio transmitting live on a Thursday. Hey. Healing of the nation starts in your brain. You have it already, you just have to activate it. Mentally. Secreted by the pineal gland. Whether African, Jamaican, Barbadian or England, it's in the pineal gland. Mentally. Organic, dark carbon. Organic, dark carbon. Chemical pigmentation substance and menalin. Boom. At the top of the hour, 9 minutes past 21 p.m. Goes out to each and everyone listening on FM or through the global network. Bigging up each and everyone under the sun. Late night stepper. Bouncing. We got the Manchester crew listening in on Manchester, Brixton Massive, outside Tottenham, North London, West, Jamaica Massive tuning in. Big up yourself, you live and direct, bless. Naughty. Hey, Dubwise. Sounds like King Tubby. Jackie tied to the long time though, cause long time than a nice time. We have a fine time, we have a nice time. The freedom of the mind, don't get left behind. Inside, this is Blessed Radio, live and direct. Boom, in full effect. Once again, it's the healing of the nation right now. Liberation on this station of Blessed Radio. If you'd like to call in, if number to call, do remember, Wicked Agafar, the number to call is 079 444 31366. Once again, the number to call is 079 444 31366. Come and get your musical kicks. Goes on to each and every one tuning in right here today on the Blessed Radio, live and direct in full effect.
Okay. Well, in what sense? Mentally, you mean?
How the music has influenced us in a certain way, because before it used to be about, you know, the rising and elevating the mind, you know, but then we got influenced by, you know, the gangster movies and the gunslingers, and then you notice the artists call themselves like Dillinger, Clint Eastwood, Lone Ranger.
That's
see?
Right.
And then that infiltrated in the music. So we're wondering why the youths now are doing what they're doing. But when you check how the music changed and the influence of the TV and the music, we were talking about gangster and gun and this and that as the parent.
Yeah.
You know, and then in your DNA now, you know, your DNA records everything, every thought, every process, and it makes it a habit. You know, so basically now that energy's been transmitted into the youth. You know.
That's right. Well, I'm not sure what you was actually talking about before. I was just what you've just told me.
Yeah.
You know, it's a subject that I'm very interested in myself, because I believe certain things, like the music has got an influence subconsciously, even subconsciously. Yeah.
Yeah.
But to put a twist on it, if you ask the youth them, if it has an influence on them, okay, they will tell you something different. Most of them will say to you, no, it hasn't got an influence. In fact, what's actually happening is that we are the ones that are telling the people them what's going on road. So it's the other way round. That's what they're trying to say. This is the real talk. This is why we're talking as it is. This is the youth talking, So they will tell you, no, it's not. We don't have got influence over that. What? So if a man tells me to pick up this and pick up that and do this, and no, we're telling you what's going on road. The other way round. So you understand what I mean?
So what are they saying is going on the road then?
Well, this is what I'm saying. The way they're living, the way they got to live, what they got to carry, what they got to do to move and hustle. And in that hustle, things might happen. And this is what they're telling you what's happening. It's like a story they're telling you. That's what they're telling you. I'm not saying it's right or nothing like that. I'm just telling you because I was of the fact that the music that you're listening to is a bad influence on your brain, and then you're going to be doing whatever. And then when you talk to some of the youth, then they're telling you, yeah, but on the same time, we're telling you how it's going on. It's not like we're influenced by the music that we play, and we're telling you through the music we're playing what's going on. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah, so they're saying that it's so from an elder who's listening and who doesn't really understand, or someone's got a problem with their youth, they're not connecting, because even as Lala Africa said, is that the dialogue has changed now in a way that we used to speak audio in an audio way, but now they're speaking digitally. So basically, they're speaking in broken mobile language. You know, so that's why even in the communication with the elders or the parents and the youth, you know, there's no dialogue, so there's the lack of understanding. So in your aspect, just tell us what the scenario that the youth is facing. And if it's not the music, are you saying they're just moving from A to B? They're in a hostile environment?
It's just like, okay, when we was younger, we had our little music and our little work and our way of expressing things. We've done it. It's always been a generational thing. It's not new. It's not new. It's just that these youths have got on a different level now. They're on it. This is how they communicate with themselves and express for themselves, because they're not looking at the music for us. It's not for me and you. That's what they're trying to say. It's not for me and you. That's not your struggle. You had your struggle. You had your little time. This is our struggle. This is the way that we're expressing ourselves. But if you see it wrong, that's your business, because we're not actually trying to talk to you. Do you understand? Because we had our time where we had our little lovers, and yes, like you said, it was a more calmer in that sense. But there was, there was other music, harder music around in them times that bands was listening to. But it didn't influence it. It was a different world.
Well, what do you say? Well, then is the propensity to more like violence? I see we're seeing the more, when you look at the in the way that we're conducting ourselves with each other as the youngers are doing. What would you say is the root cause to this propensity to?
Well, I don't think. Are you saying how we as an older generation?
No, I'm saying to understand what I'm saying it from their side. What do you see? Why the youths has a greater propensity to that excessive level of terminating one another?
Because they have got it hard. It's simple as that. If you think about it, if you was a youth in this day and age trying to get a job, or trying to get the competition going, there's a lot of competition out there. Like, you need a degree just to get a look in, for example. Some of these youths ain't got that. Yeah, some of them don't know what they want. Some of them got it's a big issue. It's not just one aspect. It's the way they get treated by the system, what future they've got, or what future they see themselves, what models they got to look at. You know what I mean?
So what would you say?
Go on,
I said, what would you say? Firstly, what is the cause of it, and is there a solution to it? So, firstly, what is the cause of this situation? What's the different climate to what we had, to what they've got now?
Well, I'm only kind of speaking for the environment here where we're living in London. Yeah, I mean, London, as you know, it changes. It's a system. It changes. It's a different system that we're growing up in now. Yeah, than it was, how many years ago? When the elders was younger. It's a different system. So they're hustling different than we are. Yeah, they're making their way through different. It's not easy. Back in the day, you can go from job to job with barely no qualifications. Yeah, it can't work like that these days. You'd be lucky if you even got a job that, you're on a yearly contract, you're begging for your job every year, getting appraisals. It's a different system. So it's not one thing. And to get money, you need to work. You know what I mean? So what they do, they might get another way of working or another way of getting money. Right. An easier way, what they think is easier in the short term.
So, what would be like the solution? How would things get better? How would things get better for them in this scenario?
They need to, like, everybody needs to find their way. Yeah, what solution is one person? Someone might be lacking education, someone might be lacking motivation. Some might be lacking. It's different, but the structure is not there for them like it's supposed to be, and they don't know where to go, or some of them don't know where to go. Even with this big internet thing and communications, there's no communication. Yeah, so they need places to go to, so where they can better themselves in the fields that they want to. Where are these places? Where do they go? Where are their mentors? Where are their teachers? Where are their elders? You see?
And what about there's a big, I don't know if it's a battle, but there's a big thing on like the elders and the police and the council, all putting their heads together to find a solution. Do you think the solution lies in the elders, or do you think it's
everybody? It takes a village to raise a child, as you know. So it's not just one aspect; it's everything, and everybody has their role to play. So, like I said, if a youth's looking to go into to be a fireman, for example, then he needs to know, what do I need to do to be a fireman? What do I need to be a lawyer? What do I need to be a doctor? Then he knows to go in the right direction. And he knows to know where to go to get it and stick by it. And you have to remember, a lot of these youths, they expect their attention span You know, it's hard because they're being distracted.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? They might go through college, uni, whatever, drop out. Then the plan's got to change.
Mm-hmm.
They might not have money to do certain things, or the family might not have money to put them through uni. You know, it's everything.
Mm-hmm.
You know, there's many aspects. So every individual should know what they need to do to get to what they need to do.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if they're serious about what they need to do their homework, because the information is out there,
mm-hmm.
and there's people like Bless and other stations that have community stations that have information, or people there. You know, it's like going to the library. When we were young, we went to the library to get our information. It's easier now.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, if you really want something, it's down to the individual to say, look, I want to be this. What do I got to do? Right, step up. Let's go.
Mm-hmm.
And then they will know they get directed into the right places.
Yeah.
If you're just going to sit there and think, you know what, I ain't got this, or you're looking at a next man or a woman, no, man. It ain't going to happen, is it?
Yeah.
It ain't going to happen. So it's down to that person or the individual to say, right, let me just do my homework and get up and do what I need to do in the system that we're in, this society.
And as well, I know you're you're the high end of the music field as a DJ and that in the music circle, and I know what's going on there. What a lot of people don't know is it's becoming more automated. You know, so how are you finding that experience? Like,
as you know, I've been affected by personally that experience, as you know, but we won't talk about that.
No, but I say
anyway,
like because what it is, some people don't realize what is happening, and as I said, this is what the youths are facing now. The society now, I don't even want to go into something myself, but basically now, you're gonna get hunted down by a robot. You know.
You're gonna be what?
Hunted by robots. So basically, some of the phone calls that I've been getting, you know, maybe for certain bills, it's not a human voice that keeps ringing me up now. It's a robot. So once you've been tracked now, it's not a human that's coming after you. That's the real deal. I'm picking up this phone every minute. I said there's no answer on this phone, you know. No answer on this phone. What's going on? So I left the phone on and then played a radio, and when the phone picked up that there was a vibration, it said the name, and it said, if you are this person, please press blah blah please. And I said, how come the phone is ringing now regularly, and what it's doing is ringing on a mobile, so every minute there's a new mobile number, but it's not a human that can keep that going. So what they're doing now, you're getting tracked by robots. Serious.
Yeah, I mean, it ain't news. Not a news.
This is like that science fiction come reality now, you know?
Everything you see on TV, sci-fi stuff, there's a meaning behind it. Check it out. Star Trek back in the day. Check out all those things now. They're here. Flip phone.
So yeah, because you're at the higher end, because you're at the forefront of. So what is actually going on in the music, you know, for DJs at the high end? What is actually going on there?
Right. So, all right, let's go back a bit. Right, as you know, being a DJ, you started off with the vinyls, and then the music you played. You went out on a record deck, then you moved on to you had 8-track as well before, but anyway, we talk about DJ side of things. Then you got into CDs, and the DJs were on the vinyls used to say, I'm not going to go to CDs because I'm a real DJ and I'm a real record man and vinyl man. But eventually, you know, a lot of them came to that. You had to transfer to the CDs because that's what the clubs had.
Right.
Yeah. Now you'd be lucky to see a club. Well, there was a point. Let me take that back. There was a point. You was lucky to see a deck in. I'm talking about a record deck, vinyl deck, in a club.
Right.
Right. And now it went to digital.
It went digital.
Yeah. So from the CDs, the same progress. It went from vinyl to CDs is happening now with the CDs to digital.
Right.
Now I'm not going to go digital. I'm not going to go laptop because I'm a real DJ. I'll stick with my, you know. So it depends on what works for you. Yeah. But the clubs, a lot of clubs are now going. Some of them are going back to vinyls, and they're bringing out the vinyl decks back, you know, from the cupboard.
Right.
But average club, when you go somewhere, you know, CDs or laptop.
Right.
Yeah, so as a DJ, an up-and-coming DJ, a lot of these DJs haven't even seen a vinyl. So what is a DJ? Yeah? Does the person outside, or the punter, or the customer, or the raver really want to know what the DJ is playing? Do they care? As long as he's playing great music for them.
Right.
Does it matter?
No, it doesn't really.
Does it matter? Does it matter? So
depends,
maybe if you're a connoisseur, say again, sorry.
Yeah, go on. Yeah, it depends on.
So maybe if you're a connoisseur, that maybe out of that crowd of 500 people, you know, there might be a handful that want to know what's the DJ playing on, or come over to the DJ to see what kind of equipment he's playing with. But most people don't really care. So what does it matter in that sense? I'm talking about just for the entertainment side of it. But for the music quality now, if you're talking about music quality, that's a different level. Yeah, so people are now going back to vinyl.
Right.
Some clubs for the music. Real connoisseurs of music will be trying to, or have gone back to vinyl. That's why vinyl.
But as I said, you're in the extreme area now. So, okay, so vinyl. So first it was people playing live instruments. Then they've developed the art of recording the live instruments, and then the records developed. So from the records developed, as you said, the artists now had an income from the records, you know, and then they could perform via the records. So that became in an industry. But then now they was able to put it, as you said, use synthesized instruments now, so they didn't need the bands anymore. So now the bands became out of the equation.
That's right.
Then the vinyl became out of the equation as the CD came in. So all the people who used to make vinyls and like the labels and all of that, there's no more money spent on that. And then what happened? Then the CDs came in. You know, the CDs came in, and then as I said, the vinyls of that equation, and then you said then it got digitalized. So now all the CD manufacturers got pushed out.
That's right.
And then after it got all the whole process of coming from the live to digitalization it made it easier to make the music without human involvement.
That's right.
And without human involvement now, it became easier to produce multiple copies. So then the scarcity factor, the original source of why people were attracted to a DJ or for music to hear some original sound, now the sound, it became that became out of the window. And now it became easier to make music, so now music was being made everywhere. And then now at the extreme state, now what's happening now? At the high end of like where you had a human DJ, you're saying that you've experienced a situation where...
Well, it's back, that's what I'm saying to you. It's going back to what I said to you. It's like people generally don't really care about all of that process that you just talked about.
Right.
Yeah, from live instruments and all that. They just want to be entertained. So however it comes, if they walk into a club, pub, bar, wedding, whatever it is, function, they don't really care if it's coming from vinyl, live. Well, obviously there's a difference between live instruments and what we're talking about as a DJ. Yeah? So if you come to see a band, that's completely different, I think. Yeah? If we're just talking about being entertained just by music as a DJ side of things, I think most people don't really care, and they come in and they get on with their dancing and make sure that they have a good time.
And so, you know, like when you get to a higher level in playing the music, what kind of musics are allowed to be played? Is there any barriers, or what do you find?
What you mean in genre of music?
Say the protocol of the club, really, like the maybe the managers of the club. What kind of, do they dictate what music is played, or?
Well, see, as a manager or boss of a club owner, yeah, they probably want to know that they can look at it two ways. They want their club to be seen as a certain type of club. Certain type of people come to this club. So a certain type of people listen to this sort of music. So they will try and encourage the DJ to play a certain type of music that they think that their people like.
Right.
But funny that, but say for example, if it was a house, he wants to put house music. For example, it could be anything, jazz, whatever it is. I'm just giving you an example. Yeah. So oh, what are you talking about, jazz? Or it's just an example. So if he wanted his club to be portrayed as a house club, okay, and then you said to you as a DJ, can you just play what house, please? Yeah. And then you just play in house. Then over a period of time, people who like house will come to that venue.
Right.
So that's probably what the owner wanted. That's what he wants. But then every now and again, you might drop in some dub or some reggae music, and the crowd's still loving it. They're rocking. Yeah. So most people, or a lot of people, do like a mixture of music. It's not just one sort of music they like. But then club owners would like to say that night is going to be, house night, or every night is going to be house night. So it just depends on what the club. Because as a DJ, you're coming to into the club, and he wants that, the owner wants a certain type of music. You give it to them because you're getting paid. That's one side of the coin. On the other side of the coin, the owner might come to you as a DJ, know you as a reggae DJ, and he wants you to come in with your people that follow you into his club on that particular night, and then that's what's going to be that night, reggae night, for example. Or one of the parts of that night will be a reggae, or one of the rooms will be reggae, because he knows that you have, you're a good DJ, you're a good reggae DJ, bam, he wants you in his club and stripping your people, because as an owner, he wants money as well. Yeah? So, it depends on what. And then you have owners who have a happy balance.
Right.
There's owners that realize that on out there are different types of music, and people like different sorts of music. So he wants to just open his doors, make sure they're this certain type of person that's going to not cause any problems. And then, he will leave it up to the DJ because he knows he's got a competent DJ. Get on with it. So this is what I think. The DJ should be able to read the crowd and just say, well, okay, I've got this type of person in front of me, or I'm going to play this. I'm going to rock the house. Bam. Be it reggae, house, any type of music. So depending on the crowd.
And on the flip side to that now, because I know you're on it, this is the thing I want to talk about, because that, as I say, as technology advances, things get replaced by machines like stat navs, and then after that, which was vehicle replacements, to improve the car. Now you got the stat nav, but now then it's coming to the service industry, like the supermarkets now, and the banks. They've all become computer, but now it's in the entertainment industry, and then you had the printing. So then the printing, the computer does all the printing services and the music services as well, been overtaken. But now it's coming as the entertainer now, where actually the computer now is now having there's a certain amount of DJs that are now computers. So now, this is like, I think I wanted to see your opinion. How do you see this going? Do you see that there's going to be like robot singers entering the charts, or where's it going to end? There might even be like robot presenters coming into
they're there already. Listen, these things are there already. It's happening already.
Right.
And,
right.
And the thing about it is, to be a DJ, it's not just about. It just goes to prove the point. It's not just about playing music. You have to be a personality. Yeah, that's the difference. And that's the main difference, because a computer is some people may disagree, but to me, a computer has no personality.
Right.
When it comes to music like that, it won't bring across what the extra that live DJ will be able to bring across.
Right.
And that is many things, because the DJ's listening now, and yourself that you need to be able to read a crowd.
Right.
Yeah. In more ways than one. It's not just about the computer. Some people say the computer can do that. It can have a camera there, and it can see people jumping up and down, or vibes, and feel the vibes, yeah?
Right.
Like the thing you was talking about earlier on with the phone, yeah? But then it still can't, there's more to it than that. Only a DJ will understand when I say you have to be able to read a crowd. It's reading a crowd and reading a crowd, and then thinking in advance as well, yeah? Yeah, so I don't think a computer can do a job as a good DJ.
Right.
A lot of clubs may try and save money and bring it in and slowly have DJs automated. Right. Yeah, it happens. Certain places have it already. Yeah, certain places have it already. There was one place in Shoreditch that everybody knows that I went into recently, and they had auto. It was, you remember Night Moves?
Yes.
Right, so Night Moves now, this was a couple of years ago I passed through there, and it was just, there was no DJ there. it was a different type of crowd because obviously night music is not night music as we know it. It's a mixed up crowd, but there was no DJ and the place was rocking.
Wow.
Yeah, but that was up. There was no DJ there. It was upstairs and downstairs, but downstairs was just chill, and it was just on an autopilot. You know, like autopilot.
Wow.
Right. Yeah. So, but when I say rocking, it's not a big club. It was a handful of people in the sense that it was, 20, 30 people, something like that. Yeah. But there comes a point, it's the computer's just playing music. You don't know who's there, don't know who they want, what they like.
Yeah. Just
playing music. So on that side of the thing, yes. Because they're drunk. They don't care what they're listening to. Some of them are just dancing and they're really rocking it after a hard day's work. But then it gets more when you get a hardcore ravers. They want to hear a certain type of music. And they might come for a request. Yeah, and so I'll give you a scenario then. So you're a DJ. So the place is rocking. This is a computer DJ at work now, yeah? So the place is rocking, the computer DJ is working, and someone wants a request. And the request is something like a really slow track. And right now the place is rocking with some big fast music. And someone puts in a request for something really slow. Bam! What does the computer do?
Right, I see what you're saying.
When does it fit in? And then another person's pushing in. But a live DJ will talk to the person politely, advise them about if they know the music. We'll play it afterwards, maybe. We'll play it a little bit later. Yeah, slow jamming or something. Yeah? So there's DJs and there's computer DJs and there's thinking about what's going on in front of you and what you want to happen in front of you. There's that as well. Because crowds change.
Right,
yeah, so it's sorry.
So I say from you're saying now, because my whole thing as well is about the youth and the technology, but from what you're saying is that the computers are going to come in, but they're going to go to only a certain level, and then the human element's going to come in and bring it back round again into a so the computers has got a limitation. It's got a limitation. It can only get to a certain level before the human element resurfaces again.
Yeah, because it's happening there already. Because remember, every there's iTunes and other things are available.
Yes.
Players that you just put on and you play. It's there already. So why don't people put that in their pubs and clubs and bars and all that? That's been there for a long time. So why have they left it? See what I mean? So it's been there for a long time. Because they know there's more to DJing than just playing music in the background.
Right.
Yeah, these things have been around for years. So don't get shocked. Yeah, it's been around for years. So they want the character and the experience. But don't get it wrong, because there are some computers that are probably better than some DJs out there. Yeah. So, do a better job than some DJs. So, proper DJ would have this experience over the years, and he'll know what to do, how to rock the crowd in front of him, what they want, how to interact is the word I'm looking for.
Right.
How to interact with the people correctly. Okay? The computer, I don't think, have got it to that level.
Right.
Not yet. Not to a live DJ. Yeah? And even if it did get to that, where they have certain clubs having the computer, it only takes a little while before they all change. And these DJs with big personality, well, look, you don't want that. This is what you want. It'd be like that. You want a real person orchestrating your night. You don't want... It just doesn't work.
So for what
people want to see a DJ.
So for what you're saying... Because I was thinking it's going to be the end of the world, so computers taking over. But for what you're saying is that there's light at the end of the tunnel, that basically, people are, just as the human, we do that. We change the mobile phone, no matter how the latest phone is, in 6 months' time, you're already bored of it. So no matter how computers are going to advance a certain way, you're saying that the human element will always surpass that.
Because you still got to talk. The main thing about it is, no matter what type of, for example, mobile you have, the person on the other end doesn't know what type of phone you're talking out of.
Right.
They don't care. It's just a tool, technology helping us to communicate in whichever way form. See, yeah, so the same thing with the DJ thing, yeah? It's only technology that's helping us, yeah, but we're still on the other end. We're still there. To be performing properly, we need to be there.
Right.
Yeah?
So you're saying it's technology then, because a lot of people, they get left behind, but so the technology takes them over. But you're saying that basically the technology is there for you to advance your character and your personality. Right.
Thank you. You have to work with it. If you don't work with it, you get left behind. I don't care.
Right.
What in this day and age, you can't be saying that I'm going to do what I was doing X amount of years ago. You need to be up to the time if you're going to be anybody up there trying to do something right now in any field you're in. I don't care what field you're in any field you're in. So you use the technology, yeah, even when you don't think you need technology, even if you think it's just one-on-one, I don't need any, yeah, you still need to get your information from somewhere to talk to this person. And you need to be up to the time as you talk to these people because things change.
Yeah.
So any technology, you use it to your advantage. So you can't be scared of it because they make it so easy that a 7-year-old can use it. Yeah, most of this technology. Yeah, so, use it. It's simple.
From what you're saying, I think because the youths, them know how to use the system, they know how to make the money in whatever ways they make the money. I think all they need in the structure, as I said, what is missing ingredient is the family situation. Because when you look at like the shops, the local shops, like the food shops, you'll see other communities will come over and they've got stores, they've got shops. So whatever money they're getting, they're putting down towards houses and shops. And I think that's all we need to do is our youths now is to put something down to build bases for themselves. So when they do get the money coming in, it's they can utilize it and create an environment that makes money as well as the money that they're making in the first place.
I mean, you've made a point that they do need to get together because even older generations was more tighter as a unit than this generation because the generation is split. They think they're together, but they're not together. Whereas before, even if it was going to church, even if it was doing partners together, even if it was just going around and, coach trips, going up to somewhere with the family, not just talking about your brethren. Remember family day out. Them thing there, right? So they're not as tight. So being as tight like that, things happen. You grow as a community, you grow as a family and a bigger family as to the community. Yeah, so that's what's missing.
Yeah, and I think because if you've got man in the north, a man in the south, a man in the east, then you can start doing proper building, But when you're stuck in your own zone, and that's as far as you can go in a certain way without getting into a conflict, So that's the thing the element that needs to happen,
Yeah, and some of these you can't even go to South.
Well, I think really, you know what? If because they're battlers, if they had a common enemy to battle against, then we see change. That they've got the keys to the change, but they need to be battling against the things that's taking the community's money, like Adidas trainers. Not Adidas or certain name brands. Sorry, Adidas. Certain name brand trainers.
You gave them some props just there. You gave them props.
We're just going to be taking off. Or certain food stores. You can hold certain companies to ransom. If you've got a unit of take 500. If you've got a unit of 500 members in yourself, you can go to these companies and hold them to ransom. You know what I'm saying? And shut them down if they don't want to abide by what you're saying. So that's all it takes.
On Twitter, they do that on social media.
Okay.
You've got a certain amount of things. That's their control. That's what they have. That's what they bring to the company. Okay. I've got a certain amount of mans them, women them, people following me.
Right.
What can you give them? And then they get advertisements.
Okay.
So it happens, but like I said, it's technology. It happens.
Right.
But it's just like things need to happen that's individually.
Yes,
what about
that's
as a
what
unit?
they say.
What about as a community?
Yeah.
I don't think certain people could be doing more for the community, but they don't. They don't. Because the system is setting it up like that.
Yeah.
We're the only community that don't really stick together like a community. We know that.
And another thing is what we're doing. We're always on I'm not saying it's bad, but we're always on a funding thing. We're always looking for a handout, And the problem with a funding thing is that basically you've given away your formula, You know, because to get funding, they would need to know your treatment, which is the formula. You know,
right.
and then once you've given away your formula, you know, then if you do get the funding, you're gonna have to abide by certain restrictions. So there's restrictions on you what you can do anyway. You know, and then if somewhere down the line it goes pear-shaped, because there's another thing, we financially don't put things together in a certain way, then they take it over, they set up their own thing and do it. You know, so that
ideas.
That's the problem, you know. Where other communities put money together, you know, like they'll put money together to buy something, and that thing will benefit everybody by the, you know. So that's another thing that we need to do. You know, we need to. I was at some meeting and the people were just begging for, was waiting on the funder to call the next meeting, and when we got enough people who can do it ourselves, you know.
Right.
And that's a key element as well, is because, you know, when we grew up, we saw things that our elders had put together, but now the youth them growing up, there's no example. They don't see nothing that the elders have.
Yeah.
They don't see, even though we did, and the system might have shut it down. But when they're growing up, all they're seeing is that we ain't done nothing. All they're seeing us is in the bookie shop. You know what I mean?
That's it. That's the same thing we were saying. That's right. Yeah. I mean, it looks as a community that, you know, we've gone backwards, you know, and that's because of the system of the way what's happened, and within the system as well, it's made it very hard for certain people to have certain things. But the youths, them, like you said, when they look at it now, if you take a snapshot, an 18-year-old, for example, will say, "What, elder? What have you done? I can't see no black businesses here. What you been doing here, Frederick? What you been doing here, Uncle? What?
Yeah."
You know what I mean? You ain't done nothing. And then you're telling me to do rare.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So they can't see all that unless they've grown up in certain households and they've been part of it, the son or the daughter of someone who had a black business or something back in the day. They can remember.
It's serious. It's serious,
but
man.
Now, if it was just an average youth just growing up now, he would look at an elder and say, "You ain't been doing nothing. And then I ain't listening to you."
It gets worse, because even 10-year-olds chatting in school, they're certain of them's gonna say, "Oh yeah, my dad owns a hairdresser's. My dad owns a garage. My dad owns a club. My dad does nails. You know, my dad." And when they're gonna ask what their dad's doing, they can't say nothing, man. They're just saying he's in the bookie shop, or he's unemployed, or, you know, or and the worst thing is, "Oh, my mum goes to the shop that your dad owns. My dad goes into your dad's garage," and then they realise that the trainers that the person they're talking to has been bought by their parents.
Yeah.
That's the real deal. That's the real deal.
But there are some. You know, on the positive side, there are some individuals that are out there doing what they're doing and showing a shining example for some of them youth. There are some.
Well, the thing about it is, you see, that's the thing. I have to say, the genius of the black child. You know, there's some young genius. One is Joshua Beckford. Whatever. He's like the youngest person, one of the youngest to go to Oxford. You know, he's going to. He won actually this Young Speakers Club of the Year award as well. He's going to Nigeria and he's getting treated like royalty over there when he's going. He's going to meet one of the richest men in you know. So basically, there is some youths that's up. They're spellbinding in what they can do, you know. And
but that's exceptional ones.
But the thing is, I think all it takes is one of them to get through with the right state of mind, you know, and they're the ones who's going to make the moves, you know. They're the ones who's going to make the moves.
I kind of disagree with you there. Because, you know, they're going into a system, and remember, he's not the first person. Yes, he might be the youngest, but he's not the first. There are people in positions already that could actually help, but their hands are tied because it's a system.
But you see what's happening. What's happening now, because of the internet now. As I said, he's being embraced by Africa. You know, so he's moving. All it takes is somebody out there to see the potential. That's the thing about it is now we're not fixed in one place. You know, if we're not through this internet thing now, we're not fixed in one place like before. So all it takes is someone out there in the developing countries now who's to can see this is the way forward and invest in that. You know, and then I think we're gonna. That's where things will make a big change.
Well, you know, I personally think there are people out there already that are able to help and are trying and are helping, but need more help and need more support and need exposure to let people know where they are and what they're doing. Because I know there's help out there, and there's people within the system, okay, that will say that their hands are kind of tied. Tied. You know, the people are. We have had, you know, like Obama, for example. We've had these people in positions already, role models.
Well, the problem is, you see, they're in positions placed by the system. We have to, as I said, as like Black Wall Street, what you have to do is you have to create your own environment. You have to create your own environment where you haven't got your hands tied by somebody else pulling the strings. So that's the key, is that we have to create our own environments. You know, because as you said, as we've been saying, is, you know.
Let me give an example. Do you think you can create your own environment? What you're trying to say in England, London?
Well, what I'm saying is, it depends. If you've got links in. You can, yes, you can. You can create your own environment. Yeah, you can create your own environment.
But remember, you're creating your own environment within the system.
Yeah, but if you look at what it is, though, you see, it's basically you have to get the support of your community. That's the thing. So the only way you can do that is you have to excel at what you do. Once you excel at what you do, you become unstoppable. Because if you look at who's been in the... Okay, but basically sometimes they do have a traumatic ending. But if you look at someone like, I don't know, Muhammad Ali or Bruce Lee, okay, Michael Jackson's got a bit of a... but once you excel in the system... Like, okay, let me go. So, okay, someone who's clean, Usain Bolt. Yes. Once you excel in the system, it's like automatically you attract wealth. You know, you attract attention. So it's you have to be performing at a peak level to break out of the entrapment. You know what you have to perform, what like Rihanna's and the. Once you can perform at that kind of level and you have a conscious mind, because another thing what you said is people get corrupted by, and they get as you said, they get you get corrupted by the system. You know, so you don't go back to your community. You know, another problem is your community. You can't go back to the community because of the envy and jealousy. You see, and then the other thing is yeah, that's it. So there's a problem in that level, you know.
Yeah, but you see, what you explained, that sort of thing is mostly down to the individual, because when they get to that level and performing at the peak, then they look after number one. They're not doing anything for their community.
That's what I'm saying. It's because that's what I say. They need to have that. They need to have that mindset. That's the thing, is that they need to have the mindset. You know, the mindset to do that. Like there's in America, was it LeBron, or is it LeBron who built the school? You know, he built the school for children. You know, so you need to have the mindset that you're going to give back to the community. You know, and I agree with you. That's what needs. That's what you need to be at. But what another thing is, people get sometimes you can't even become successful, because once you do show an element of consciousness, then your employer is going to cut your purse strings. You know, so that's the other problem. You know, that's the other problem. You know, but as I said,
yeah, sorry, go on.
No, as I say, because you know, like the amount of people that are following some of the young youth, them, you know, the amount of people that they've got on social media, and if they done their mathematics, they could be the local politician in seconds. You know, they could be the one who's running their district. You know, imagine one of them new ones getting everybody to vote for them at the next election. That's when it's going to change, because it's a numbers, or like, especially look, the voting system is a numbers system. It's based on numbers, you know. And if they was to turn their attention to 1 minute, even though I've got X amount of people following me through my music, and I get them people to vote for me to win the next election, then I can influence the youth from a next level. You see what I'm saying? Right. So once we start to get that mindset in, that then you're getting real power now. Now the local MP is a 21-year-old from blah blah blah. You know what I mean? Plus you're gonna be selling more music anyway. You know what I'm saying? But they want to keep us in that that lane of, you know, entertainment, rather than looking at power, you know, power rather than money. You see what I'm saying?
But like I said, there are a lot of people in that position of power already. There's a lot of people there, but one, they don't do anything because they're all right, Jack. They don't. They're looking after themselves. And the ones that do want to do something, their hands are tied. And there's others out there that are not connected. They don't really care. You know, they because the system is not geared up. I mean, they're up there. They're up there, and that's it. Because there's a lot of people out there in positions already.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I agree with that, but as I said, it's the mindset. Because when you look at other communities, other communities have come from behind where we are and have gone past where we are. You know, basically because they have that community aspect with them. You know. You look at the local shops. You know, some of them don't speak the lingo. You know, but they're organised. They've got food stocked up for the next 6 months. You know, and you can see they're working together. They're up in the morning, blah blah blah. They refuse to work for the system. You know, and they're in the system. They don't even know how to manipulate the system how we do. But when you look what they're doing, you know what I mean, and they're sending their children to school and then getting a high. See, that's what it's really about. You see, that's what it's really about.
So that is going on to what I was saying about making an environment within the system. So their environment looks after their community within the system. So that it can work like that. But but they're trying to say, just know your place. You're in our system, but you can do what you want to do in your environment, around you and your community. But don't mess with the system. But
you have to see but what happens is it's like a chess game, you see, because they're here, but then they've got links abroad back to their homeland. You know, so what happens is that while they're here, they're building up their homeland now at the same time. So the system now is no longer not an entrapment to them. It's a way of it's the way of manipulating funds and building up where they go, where they come, so they can go backwards and forth. You see, so that's the system.
Remember this, Jammers. When you go back to where you think you're going back to, there is a system over there as well.
Yeah, but I'm saying they're able to maneuver between the two systems because a lot of they're getting their food from there, and then they're building houses back where they are. You know, so they're managing the two systems. You see, and that's what's empowering them because they're going back to the system, and they're elevating where they come from. So when they're going back there, you know, they're getting treated in a certain way. You know, because that's the balance. That's the balance. You know, because when you go back, then you can see where you're going to, and you can see what's wrong with where you are now, and why you need to go back to develop where you. You see what I'm saying? Between the two of them.
Well, yeah. If you go back to Africa, we're talking Africa. If you go back to Africa, yes, and it depends on what part of Africa. There's different systems. So then you're going to go back into that system and build your environment and help up that environment with your knowledge you have from over here, contacts, and you're should be living a better life than you would have been if you were living. You'd be living in your own environment, natural sort of groundings. You know?
Because when you look, the people from this environment, you know, that it's a big achievement or celebration or enjoyment when they save up their funds to go to where we was originally. The Caribbean holiday. We're gonna go. As you know, it's a lifetime. But you know, when we go there, we just feel at home. We just feel relaxed in that side of things. But they still have an order, and they still got things going around. You know, there's problems in paradise as well, but it's a different type of problem than it is over in the Western society system. So it's a tricky one. And going back to how we started off with the youth. So then some of the youth, they do need to travel because some of them don't travel. I'm not talking about traveling to Ibiza in Spain, in Greece, and all them sort of places. That's right.
I'm talking about going back to some places. They know what I'm talking about. To find your roots and your history and find out.
And then see what they can develop. Like they can if they go there, they can build a house from whatever they're making here. They can go over there and build something. You know, so that they can maneuver.
That's what I'm saying. You're jumping too fast for the youth. Then that's what I'm saying. Them talk there is too fast for them. because they're born here. They're not going to just jump and go.
But there's a whole other angle to it as well, because okay, we grew up in a certain way. We had certain influences around us, you know. But I know if I had some of the knowledge that I've got now, if I had it from when I was born, it'd be a whole different ball game. And I was chatting to one presenter, like a really esteemed presenter, and he was saying he's got youths that recognise him because they heard him from when they was 5, you know. And what they're doing now is unbelievable. So there's certain youths now who they're growing up with hearing. Okay, they promote the negative side, but there's certain youths who are growing up with certain frequencies, certain influence, certain knowledge, and them youths is moving on the next level.
I mean, right. So then, what are their aims? How are they thinking?
They're thinking in the same. They're thinking in the way that there's certain youths that are doing that. That are doing it already. Yeah, doing it already.
But doing what though? This is what I'm saying to you. What are they doing?
They're building the community. They're building the communities. They're forming their community. They're forming links. No, I'm saying they're forming links. They're forming links at the homeland. You know, they're developing trade. They're forming international links.
Yeah, and I know there's certain artists out there,
especially when you look at the big one of the biggest influence on the music scene now. It is the African youths. Them that's over here.
The Afrobeat.
Yeah, the Afrobeats
and
yeah. So they've got the actual link now back to the motherland. You know, so there's a backwards and forwards. When they go to the motherland now, they're treated as a phenomenon.
Yeah,
you see,
and
so
some of them are doing something for that country.
Yes, so the process is happening. The process is happening. You know, it's just that more of us, as you say, because it's not publicized. You know, it's not publicized. So
right. So going back. So see, right, going back to your original format. You know, that you was talking about. So the youth, yeah. If they see that type of youth, so you've got singer A doing Afro beats, and he's going back to Ethiopia, for example, and he's doing things for Ethiopia. He's doing things, and he's putting back in, okay? And the youth see that from over here, yeah? And they see this singer A, rapper A, whatever he wants to be, A, okay, doing that, and the youth see that, then that's different. That is a positive effect that youth is having on what he's doing, not just the music. I'm not even talking about the music part of it. I'm saying what he's done and he's earned his way through the music. He's earned his name or her name.
You're gonna have to make your final point because we've run over time here. But carry on.
Right, okay.
Carry on.
I can wrap it up like this. No problem. So if there are positive youths out there doing positive things, giving the positive message, and there's other youths are listening to them or someone of their own age group, yeah, and they're doing positive, that is a good move.
Yeah, that's it, you know.
That's a good move. That is a blessed thing, yeah? So, and then we can all work from that, and then they have their foundation, because those youths will have their mentors that's looking out for them and giving them advice of how things are and how they used to be. And then they can move forward from there, and we can help each other.
Yep. Well, Raf, I'd like to thank you, because I know if people don't know this, but the man was ringing me up to just talk to me about one little thing. He didn't expect to be in the middle of a radio interview, so I'd like to thank you for that. You know, the original Fine Cut Promotions, the original promoter, you know, who's seen everything, built things, you know, made careers for people. Yeah, he's touched in there. So I thank you for sharing that information there. So respect to that, and I'll speak to you afterwards. Yeah, and it's a extended Jammarster. We've got the man in the house, Dragon himself. You know, so thank you, Raf, for that. And I'm going to catch up with you shortly after this show. Thank you. And that's the final one for me. I hope you enjoyed the extended view. Now, hand you over to the esteemed presenter extraordinaire, live in the building, Mr. Dragon.